Lee, what happened?
It went off. The gun went off.
By itself?
It just went off. David, the Marine,
Let me see your war face.
it just went off.
No, it didn't. You had your finger on the trigger.
Oh, no. The gun just went off. Must be something wrong with the gun.
I filmed it.
Oh, no, the gun just went off. Just went off.
I told you your finger's on the trigger. Not only was it on the trigger, you pulled the trigger. That's why it went off.
It just went off.
Okay, Alec. Alec Baldwin said he never pulled the trigger. He cocked the hammer part way, never pulled the trigger, did the shot setup and stuff, and then he let go of the hammer, and then it went off.
And that, many would say, is a very sound argument.
Except the mechanism of the gun, an 1873 Peacemaker, would not allow that to happen.
And how's that?
Well, this is a Colt, this is a Peacemaker, this one's 22, but the mechanism is the same. There's a stop right there, that's the safety notch. We have what they call half cock, that frees the cylinder. And then we have full cock, which Alec said he never reached. He's saying he pulled it part way back, but not all the way back, and then you let go of the hammer, except what happened with that is it stops on half cock. It did not fire. Or if it goes past that, it'll stop on the safety notch. Unless you have it all the way back, or most of the way back, and have the trigger in, it's not on full cock, but if you let go now, it will fire. The finger was on the trigger. And if you do not pull the hammer all the way back, watch the cylinder does not line up all the way. What does that mean? It means the cartridge is not aligned with the firing pin, and therefore it won't go off. The cylinder will line up when you pull the hammer all the way back. Now it is aligned and it will fire.
And that's the way they used to do those in Bonanza, where they were trying to make it look cool.
Yeah, fanning the gun, but part of how that works is, the key of how that works is you got to pull the trigger in so the hammer will release. So unless if not pulling the trigger in, it cocks and stays. It only goes forward when you pull the trigger.
Oh, that's a hot gun. Yeah, hot gun. Hot gun.
This one is. I just loaded it.
Hot gun.
This is a Ruger Wrangler. I don't want to use my Colt to abuse like this, but it's going to demonstrate the same thing. You pull it back without keeping your finger on the trigger, not the full cock and let go. It does not go. It does not fire.
Click.
Now, if I put my finger on the trigger, I'll pull the trigger in, I'll pull it back part way, and let go. It's not aligned. It's not aligned, it won't fire. If I pull it back all the way, I'm going to pull the trigger, pull back all the way, and let go. It'll fire.
All right, I admit it. My finger was on the trigger, and it was pulled. But this demonstration shows that the argument that it just went off is a little thin.
It's real thin, especially with Alec Baldwin. That gun could not have fired the way he says it fired. You know, possibly, was it broken? That might account for it, but still, you're not going to line it up. But I tell you, you admitted it, Alec Baldwin will not, and that's the difference.
And another example, be safe at all times.
You have to. Alex violated several safety rules, and you don't want to do that. It's hard to have fun at the range if you're not safe at the range.
And as always,
Guns for everybody.
Except Alec Baldwin.